for a few minutes. I welcome all of you to Man Raven Confectionery, 708 Fulton Street. We started here July 14th at 9:01 when we flicked the light switch with Congressman Adolphus Towns. We cut the ribbon of a place that a lot of people didn't have an idea, a clue what it was going to be, whether it was going to be a bar, a church, a restaurant. So when we cut the ribbon, we didn't even have a banister, the grand opening night, but we had 700 people outside. We didn't even have a toilet that was on the sewage line in the bathrooms. So we had to use the neighbors next door on the second floor, Kevin Briggs' apartment, to even get dressed. So I said all that to say, this was a carriage house, dilapidated bodega, and we transformed it into a cake shop. We had an oven right here to the right.
Yes, remember.
We had the sifting room right here.
Yes.
The counters was right there behind you, and this was the whole place. We started off doing weddings. I was only supposed to be open 4 days a week. Now I'm supposed to run Harlem, because after all, I'm Harlem Cake Man in Brooklyn. So the transition from that was a little rough, because when my father died and when we were getting ready to open I forgot the address. It was 152nd Street in Amsterdam. We had problems with the building. It was going to be Cake Man Under the Stairs, 1854. And that was that address. We were going to open on 140th Street in St. Nicholas. We was getting ready to do a groundbreaking ceremony, and we said, Cake Man coming soon, only to find out that the building was on top of the subway, so therefore you couldn't run sewage above the roof. So that was lost. We went down to Giscombe and Henderson on 126th Street and 8th Avenue. We started to get a space there that was a fish place for a long time. Now it's demolished and building a mall there. We went to go rent that spot. We went down in the basement. All the floor was rotten. A homeless man told my father, said, don't let your son rent this place. He said, why are you talking to him? He said, don't let your son rent this place. He said, how you know my son want to rent this place? He said, I see them showing it all the time, and he's looking around like he's interested in it. Mr. John H. Joyce gave me the check for 3 months rent and 1 month security and said, if that's the building you want, Cake Man, you go down there and you tell him you want it. Walked in the place, I told Giscombe and Henderson, I said, I'm a Raven dentist, I want to get this place. I want to open a bakery. They said to me, well, where's your father at? I said, no, I am Cake Man. I'm the one that's going to open the bakery. So the little guy came up, and when we went downstairs, I asked, do we have a basement here? He said, no, there's no basement. So the guy said, there's a basement. I've been living in the basement 15 years. So I'm like, that's why the derelict guy, the homeless guy, knew where it was. He said, this is the way they rob all the jewelry stores on 125th Street. They go straight through here. And he showed us the big holes in the walls and stuff. So we went from trying to open in Harlem, 3 different places. Then in Teaneck, New Jersey was this place we was going to try to do. Then Lisa McLean, she was like, look, you got to get out of this pressure you're in. You got to come. You got to look forward. You got to keep moving. You come over here, meet me on my lunch break. We're going to come over here, and we're going to look at a spot. It's not far from us. It's on Fulton Street. We're going to talk about it. You come and just give it a try. I said, no, I don't want to go to Brooklyn. No, I don't want to do Brooklyn. So I came to Brooklyn. We met her. We went down here. We talked to the lady down on the block that owned the real estate, South Elliott. Eva Daniels. Yes, ma'am. Thank you. And we spoke to her, and she showed us this place. It had a backyard. I got all excited. You know I'm down south. I need some dirt. So I went outside. I said, wow, it's got a fountain and everything. I said, I want this place. I said, how we got to do it? She said, well, we got to get 3 months rent, 1 month security, and we were talking negotiations. Somebody else is looking at it. I said, well, you know, I don't have money in New York. I have to go down south and come back and talk to my grand people. So I said, I'll go down south. We come back. We went and got the paperwork. We went back over there. She said, oh, it's gone, it's sold. I said, well, how would you let me go through all this to get the place? So then I'm done now, because that was the only place I wanted. So you know how it is when you see something you want real bad, and you work for it, you get it, and you finally get there and say, all right, I got it, and it's taken right from underneath you. Well, the same thing happened. So I kept on going. She said, well, you got to keep on going. She said, look, it's a bodega. It's a 2-floor thing. You have to worry about tenants on top. We're going to look at that. And I told her I'm not going. She said, come on, you got to go. I said, no, I'm not going. So she whined and whined and whined. And finally, we came up in here and we met Mr. George Cassiotis, which was the owner. And at that time, he was about 80 years old. Now he's 94. But, you know, he's still doing what he's doing. But he came to me and he said, well, why is the young man upstairs? Because this was a rickety-rackety little stepper. They used to do the sangria thing with the cutting the chickens and blood and stuff upstairs, whatever that was. So I don't know what that called, but we went upstairs and I thought I went walking to a horror picture. You had chicken feathers and I don't know what all the stuff was, all kind of stuff hanging in the ceiling. They said, oh, this place possessed. You're going to have demonic stuff going on. You don't need to get this. I said, well, the devil is, well, anyway, we went on right on with that. I told the people what was going on, so we took all this stuff down. I said, what am I going to do with this thing? And they said, for sale, buy the bodega, then you get the spot. It had deli counters in here. It had all the shelves, everything. It had rats this big that would eat up through the walls and stuff. So that's why this tile went all the way up 5 feet. Because, you know, that's the only way to keep them out. We was over the subway. And at that time, there was breaking ground for a lot of buildings and stuff in Brooklyn. And that's what started the rats to moving. So, I talked to Mr. George. I stayed upstairs about 45 minutes. What happened was, when I went upstairs, I looked out of the windows and I said, you know what? If I stand right here and I look to my right, I can see straight down Green Avenue. If I stand right here and look straight forward, I can see South Oxford. So I said, you know what? This is not a corner. Let me imagine it to be a bigger space than that. I'm going to go ahead and take this. I came downstairs. I told him, I said, I want this. He said, what was you doing upstairs? I said, I was looking out the window. She said, leave him alone. That's how you do. You got to get yourself together. Leave him alone. He'll be all right. So they went and did something. I came downstairs and told them I wanted it. So we went and got the business thing together, arranged the paperwork, and we got it. So now we're stuck with a bodega. We had rats in it and had a whole bunch of groceries. We must have had every sale from buy 5 to get 10 free to buy 3 and get 10 free. And I mean, it was just crazy. I mean, we had to sell out everything. Then we had a sign up saying all equipment must go, buy everything. Then we had to demolish the place. So we called up an architect. Architect said $26,000 to do the plans and to get the place ready. The contractor said $7,500 just to do demolition. So I'm like, we only got a budget of $25,000. How this gonna work? So we started, you know, brainstorming and working with it. Where the matron at that time came up. She was just retiring. Rachel Zanders and them came from Harlem. We sat on milk crates outside looking at this dusty place, and I'm telling them what it's going to be, and they're looking at me like, well, we might have to put him in a home soon because he's about to leave. Because they really thought I was cracking up. Because, you know, I was going through changes, and I was telling them what it's going to be, and I was looking here telling them this is what's going to happen in this little spot, and it's like, how can that be? This is a rat hole. What's going on? Don't even have steps to get upstairs. So we demolished this place. We had the gate down. Easter Sunday, Kevin was home. I said, Kevin, I need somebody to help me take this gate off. I was in church. I said, this gate got to come down today. He said, how you going to do that? You need a whole team to help you get that. I said, no, what you do, you know how you do in cartoon? You stand here and hold this radiator. I'm going to wrap the water hose around your waist, and you will wrap around your legs in this thing. And I'm going to get out here and jump out the window and swing, and it's going to leave from the rotten wood, and we're going to pull it off. And then once it starts to fall, we can pull it down. Boy, and my Kappa brother, Vaughn from Philadelphia, was here. So he parked his truck there so I could jump up and get it. And, you know, nobody was on Fulton Street on a Sunday. There was nobody out here because nobody wanted to be on Fulton Street. There was a bodega across the street, which was doing a shootout when we signed the lease. Down the block, across the street was a laundromat. The only thing was Mashoud and 4W Circle with Brenda and them doing jewelry and making clothes and stuff. So I was like, all right, we're going to put a bakery here. They said, what you going to sell? You got to have some chicken patties or you got to have some food. You can't just open a sweet place. Who want to do that? I said, all right, just let me get a moment here. We're going to do it. We're going to just do wedding cakes and that's it. They came in here, they said, well, we want a slice of cake. We want a cupcake. We want a cookie cake, man. We need something so we can take out. We ain't getting married. We 50 years old. We 60 years old. We done been married 30 years. We ain't get married again. We don't need no wedding cake. You need to do something else. The guy who on Exodus across the street said, well, Cake Man, you know what? You need to sell some coffee. That'll pay a light bill. The tea. You'll be surprised how much money you generate selling coffee and tea. And that's no brainer. You put it over there, let them do it themselves, and they pay you across the counter. You don't have to worry with it. Just keep putting the milk out. Sure enough, it worked. The guy who owned Gatina's, which was Sean Uncle, one of the boys that used to work for me that's in that New York Times article upstairs. He said, Cake Man, you just got to stick it into it. I said, what am I going to do with the garbage? I said, all this debris and stuff. He said, you got to get a bin. You call a contractor. They'll bring you a bin. And you fill them up, and they take them away. You don't have to go through a contractor doing that. So we cut this thing down so I was sitting here swinging my legs. I couldn't get down out of the ceiling. We didn't move the steps. I forgot I was upstairs, so I'm going to get down. So we got pictures of the before and after where we had to gut this place so we saw the sunshine. Because it was totally rotten. The back of the place, Thanksgiving 3 years after we renovated, the ceiling fell down. Anderson Ramirez was my first baker. His mother said he didn't want to be in the kitchen and know nothing about baking, knew nothing. The barber, my barber around the corner, Junior, said, look, my cousin just came from Trinidad. I need you to talk to him. He's sitting at the house just watching TV. I said, all right, tell him to come to me. So he started washing dishes and cleaning up and helping me do things in the kitchen. I said, Anderson, can you just sift and then I'll just mix the batter? And then I said, well, Anderson, you just put all this in the bowl and then I'll pour it in the pan. Then when I said, Anderson, can you just put it in the oven and then I'll come back? So then I started him to bake, and he didn't know he was baking. So then his mother came from Florida and stayed a week and sat on the stool and watched him, because this was the kitchen right here. It was the cabinets right here that we got off 52nd Street that they threw out. We had a dishwasher here and a double oven that they threw out, and a regular stove. And that's how we used to make the syrups and stuff. Right, and we got that because one of the guys was almost being robbed in the subway. A little guy. He was getting ready to get roughed up. He came running down the sidewalk. And at that time, beepers we had, and we had the cell phones was just coming out, and they just started to be silver. So I was in here doing stuff in the middle of the night, and I had myself, not a cell phone, the cordless phone in my pocket, and it was silver. So the dude came running. I said, what's wrong? He getting saying up here. I said, what happened? What happened? He said, they trying to rob him, mister. They trying to rob him, mister. I said, I don't know. You stay here. I'll go outside. So they came down. I'm trying to stand all big, like a dust monkey. I had hair all over my face. I was in here trying to, do construction work. So I went and had my hand on the phones. I was getting down 911. They thought it was a gun. They went the other way. They told everybody in the neighborhood, Cake Man carry a gun. Don't mess with that dude over there. So for a long time, people thought the business was a white front, because they said, no, ain't nobody going to be doing nothing like that. Not Afro-American young boy. He don't do nothing about cakes. What you know about cakes? Women make cakes, boys don't. So all right, we went through all that. We started to renovate the place. The next day, the guy came back to me and he said, I go to Culinary Institute of America. I want to be a pastry chef. I said, really? He said, I want to thank you. You helped me last night. He said, why are you not open yet? I said, well, I can't get gas in here. There's never been a meter, so they said it takes 3 months. He said, well, I'm going to call my father. I said, okay. I came new to the area. He called his father. His father was the district manager of Keyspan. At that time it was Keyspan then. It wasn't National Grid. I had gas in 5 days. They said you get those stoves, you hook them up, you get new pipes, you put as much mud and rust and paint as you can on them. I'm going to send the guys there, you tell them the meter got messed up while they're doing demolition. That's how we got gas here. So we went from trying to make a place and build a place and make a bakery to helping people out in the street who was running for danger. And I was like, what are they going to call me now? Superhero? So when they had, before I go on, this is Miss Badia Woods, Miss Sylvia Woods' eldest daughter. This is Shanez Woods Black, the granddaughter and the VIP of all the advertisement, marketing, and promotion of Sylvia's restaurant. And this is Miss Tanika Murray. This is Badia's oldest daughter, and these are 2 generations of Miss Sylvia's.
Got Tanidra.
Miss Sylvia Woods' children. This is Miss Sylvia Woods' niece, Tanidra. So now they came all the way to make sure y'all had food to help me out. This is my second family.
We love you.
And because of their mother, I stand on the shoulders of what that was for culinary world and abroad. When you see somebody that has been somewhere 50 years with the same counter, 50 years, and then, to do tremendous work, not just to New York, but the international people. If you saw the pouring at the demise of her when we had our service from all over the world, from Sweden, from France, everywhere. And I said that to say, I'm here for 12 years. Yeah, we closed in 708 Fulton Street, but it's just one milestone of a long journey.
That's right.
And so I'm so glad that they were able to come over here today to help me. Those are my aunts back there, my great-grandaunt over there in the corner. Look at 98 years old. Do you hear me? So when we talk about from a 3-year-old niece that's running around in here, raspberry somewhere, to 98 years. So when you cross bridges like that, these are people that I'm empowered by. Thank y'all so much. I want to thank y'all.
Love you, baby.
All right. So now, so we got ready to open this place.
Thank you, Raven. Thank you for the good cake. I ain't get this way from McDonald's. This is red velvet.
This is Cupcake Boy's mother, Miss Shallow. She used to do our food for us. We used to have the outside festival and parades and stuff in the 7th anniversary. And then she feeds me most on Sundays. Her and Miss Lily, between them two, they keep me eating. So I thank her for that. And when we opened this place in July, we didn't have no idea what it would become to Brooklyn or what it would become to the United States. We got a world's record for the Guinness Book of World Record for the largest sculpted cake. We brought that back here to Brooklyn, to America. So now to come to this point, 12 years later, we've had parades. The only place I know that could do a parade was Macy's. I said, so now if Macy's started having parades and they got a business like they got, maybe years down the road, people are constantly coming because they await the parade at the end of the year. So as appreciation to my customers, clients, friends, and just the neighborhood, we had a big festival, which we have a stage outside and performances. One of the kids that performed on the stage was on one of those shows, Strawberry. What show that he won? The little boy that was Astro on
He was on
X Factor.
X Factor. He was on the stage out there. Whoever would have known. So I mean, we've had people like Sister Maxine to do a gospel brunch upstairs, and I cooked the food. We had everything from filet of sole to stuffed Cornish hens, and it was $25 a plate. We did 3 settings that Sunday. Whoever thought we had that upstairs? Rafa Ministries used to have church upstairs. They used to have swing dance class upstairs, jewelry making. LIU, one of the workshops, used to have a theater workshop on Saturday mornings here. The youth choir, 75 kids used to pack up upstairs on Friday nights and have choir rehearsal. So I mean, we have done so much stuff here in 708 Fulton Street. And to come this far now and to look back over the years and all the people that's been a part of the cake team, the foundation, a part of the, I got some former employees in the place. If y'all just throw up a hand and wave so everybody can see, look, there's the cake team, there's people that used to work here. And I mean, all of them. We got my Kappa brothers of Kappa Alpha Psi in the building. We definitely got Harlem in the building. I mean, it's my family, my sisters, my nieces, my nephews, my church members. My nephew right here is Michael Kenneth Williams' son, standing right here is actor Omar, all that. It's Carol. So I mean, so my aunts. That's Darren. Okay, here we go. And Miss, they was working with me all night long. Miss Audrey and Miss Lily. You done saved me so much. Everybody, that's Miss Lily who fed 500, 600 people every year. And she did that for free for 10 years, every July when we have anniversary. And we try to, everything from smothered chicken to oxtails, I mean, you name it. So, I mean, so many people have supported me. My barber, Junior, he's been my financier when I was going through changes, and barber for the last 12 years. I mean, Mashu down the block has done, he back in the back, Kunle back there. They've done fashion shows for our events. Our praise dancers from St. Luke used to come and do a praise dance team for us. Mr. Tristan Limousine back there that used to always bring out the cars and ride us all over the place. He's right there in the corner right there. They just opened up a new place in Queens. I mean, we have so many people that have opened up a business. We have Darrell that has opened up his own bakery in Bed-Stuy on Bainbridge. It's called DOC Desserts, and he used to work here. So I mean, you got so many. You got another one you got Ronell in the back somewhere. You got Kareem, Chris. I mean, it's quite a few. And I mean, there's Charles, the painter that used to do all the painting and stuff around here. McKnight just came in with a box of cake that was out there baking all day long. He's from Florida, so that's one of the guys that's helping me out now. It's so many people I can stand up here for hours and hours and hours and thank, but it always got to come to an end. And Borough President Marty Marquis in his absence, he sent me a long text yesterday and sent me another long text today. And he has been a true supporter, has put me in many places, has promoted me and pushed me and yelling, screaming in my ear for 5 and 10 minutes about to do worse than our Audrey does. And, you know, they be on my case. And Sister Shirley McLean is not here tonight. I mean, you know, it's just so many people that are not under the sound of my voice. My mother's upstairs somewhere. My younger nephew, we got Elijah's sisters, we got Roy Schuler, who started his cake business. He used to come to the house and pick, we call it pick-at cake. When I had to make models and cut out numbers and cut out Barney cakes, he'd be waiting to find out where the pick-at cake at. So he'd stop by. Now he's got his business, Cheesecakes by Chester. and he's up in
Bethlehem,
Pennsylvania. So I mean, look at how people can go and see and go ahead and carry it on further. So in this, when I'm gone from here, and Evelina now and my grandmother in that picture over there, once we all leave, there'll always be a legacy going on. There's a lot of people who wouldn't even come out of their kitchen unless they don't bake a cake out in public. Now look how many bakeries we got. You got so many cupcake shops. You got red velvet made in Duncan Hines. You got red velvet in Pepperidge Farms. You got red velvet yogurt, ice cream, waffles, pancakes, everything. So I mean, 10 years ago, nobody wanted to eat a red cake. They didn't want to eat a red cake. So I mean, even I know everybody has mixed emotions about our mayor Bloomberg, but when I tell you, he came here to learn how to ice a cake. The day he got elected for that last term that everybody was upset about, he came and became a member of the official cake team. Put on the jacket and everything else. Some of the entertainers, I gave them a jacket, present them a jacket, and they still don't wear the jacket. So at least we got pictures of him in it. So that's a mayor that supported us. Like I tell people, I said, I can't be Democratic and I can't be Republican. They all got to eat the red velvet cake. Now when I go pull the little thing in the room, I don't need to tell them that it was always Obama. Just simple as that. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, we've always had gospel in here. We've always had music and a spiritual atmosphere. But over the years, it has took a turn. I mean, I had so much stress from the health department. Do you see a kitchen in here? Is there a stove in here? Is there a preparation table? We didn't have that here, but yet we get closed by the health department saying that we had a preparation area without water. We had a yucky kitchen. Ain't no cake being baked out of here, so where the kitchen at? So how would the kitchen be nasty? I was looking at so many comments on that Facebook, and I was looking at so many things on Instagram, and I was empowered by people from all over the country sending, oh, it can't be so. No, you can't be leaving. What are we going to do? We ain't going to do nothing. We're going to keep on doing what we've been doing. Eating red velvet cakes, I'm going to keep on bringing it. I mean, it's not stopping me by 708 Fulton Street. I maybe have a spot over in Manhattan next week. I may have a spot in Harlem next week. But, you know, that's just how it goes. And I mean, you know, this is just closing here. We transformed the neighborhood. They didn't even want to sit outside when I came here. They said, that man crazy. They got that thing sit. I used to have a little green grass carpet outside and 2 chairs and sit out there by myself. Why? Because I ain't had no company. So we put stained glass. We did representative the World Trade Center towers falling down. When they had 9/11, I was outside sweeping the sidewalk. My sister was screaming and hollering. My mother was down south on the phone saying, the World Trade Center is smoking. It's on fire. I said, oh, no, it's not. I can see it from where I'm at. I went upstairs and I'm going to look. I said, oh, God, it is smoking. Little did I know what was going to happen. People started running. They started coming across here, and they had stuff all on their glasses. And I'm like, it's not here. It's not here. Easy, easy. Calm down. Calm down. Cars with 6 and 7 people pack up in the cars. Phones couldn't work. I had my cordless phone out in the pocket, sweeping the sidewalk. I said, you want me to call somebody for you? I can do it. And that's what I started doing. And I said, well, let me get you some paper towel. Then another lady came. I said, let me get you some paper towel. And then I said, let me get you some water. Then one lady came and said, Lord Jesus, my feet. Her feet was all blistered and bleeding. I said, well, I didn't go to the gym today. I still got on clean socks. If you want my socks, I'll take my socks off and give them to you. I ain't going nowhere. She said, really? You do that for me? I did, right? Then gave them to her. So every anniversary, she come back and tell that story. We put chairs outside. I had pastry in the cases. I cut up the pastries, so people had diabetic fits and stuff. So cut up croissants in 6 pieces and pass them out. Line up chairs outside. My fraternity brother was here earlier, Dan Brown. He was on a bus. He saw the people started congregating here. He got off the bus, gave me money, said, you go get water and ice. The tire shop guy came across the street. He gave me $100. He said, you get more water and ice. I'm going to help you. And the people started coming, just helping me give out paper towel and water. That's how easy that was. Everybody was serving hot dogs and hamburgers for $6 and $7. Why? Because we in a crisis. A bottle of water was $10. What you mean? You know, we under siege right now. You got to help people. You got to be able to give people. A tight fist don't let nothing come in and nothing go out. I don't care what people may say, what people may think. It ain't easy. It ain't easy being in the public's eye. They always said, once you get in the public side, you're susceptible to anything that comes your way. Why? Because you're in the public. That's what that is. You want to be private, stay underneath the rug and back underneath the steps somewhere. But once you come out and start reaching out and doing things, you're going to have the naysayers, you're going to have the positive people, you're going to have the people that uplift you. And I thank God for all of you in here in this room that did not find it robbery to assemble and be here. And you see how we do parties. I came from Manhattan, from when Sylvia and them was. That's what they do. Put a tent outside, you have carpet outside, you have a party. You have it here. We don't go rent no place to have a party to represent a place that right here. We know it's small. You pack them in. We ride the subway and hold on the thing and underneath people's arm and all underneath people's stink all day long. So when time to go, you know, you bring in people together. Same thing if they'd had announced that Cake Man died yesterday. What was going to happen? Would have been the same thing because I'd have been up here spinning around holding the cake like this. That's how I go. I done told everybody. So all y'all heard unsigned my voice. I've been writing my obituary since I've been 8th grade. That's something I do. I wanted to be a mortician. So I'm into funerals, so that's not a scary thing. But I talk about it all the time. I tell everybody the same thing all the time. What I'm supposed to have on, where we going, what we singing, what Sister Maxine gonna do, what Reverend Butts gonna do, how they gonna march across the bridge, close it down. I don't know where Martin Marcus is gonna be, but he gonna have to lead the parade. This is how it goes. So I mean, you know, it's just things that have happened here. I mean, I just can't begin to tell you about how we got a grant to get trees. I said, why we don't have no trees on Fulton Street? This is the only block that didn't have trees. So a lady from Botanical Garden, she said, we're going to write a grant for you, Cake Man. We're going to work on that for you. They got $30,000. We got 147 trees for Fort Greene. So that's all them young trees that look like that little pear tree out there. That's where that came from. Now it's this big thing that Giuliani had that said you got to plant 100,000 trees a year, or whatever that happened. But that was after the fact. That was after the fact. People would stand online, and we had a deli case with the cake in it, and the cake was being made. And they know it took 45 minutes for that cake to come out the oven, go upstairs, be iced, and be sliding and steaming. And they waiting for it. They knew it was going to come out. Stiletto shoes crossed the ice and snow. They came for this cake. And I just thank God for that. I mean, how many people and how many places you know that the people just wait 3, 4, 5 hours and get the cake and pay $6 and then go back home happy and don't cuss nobody out. I mean, you know, we get tight in traffic. We don't like waiting. It's just New York. People want what they want when they want it. That's just how it goes. And I mean, you know, over the years, I don't know what else to say with what I could do here. So we had fights with the lease. We had fights with the ownership. 13 years. We brought this place to what it is, up to what it is now. Somebody can walk in here now and start a business. 1, 2, 3. Now next door, they're going to have to tear that down and build it again, but it's the same building. Not one time have any of the ownership had to come and do anything here. So my thing was, I am going to only give what I like somebody to give me. And that was a clean, fabulous place where you could bring in friends and brag and boast. That's why we used to overdo it with Christmas decoration. Nobody used to do like Manhattan. They wait and do Christmas the week of Christmas. Manhattan do Christmas right after Halloween. So I always used to tell people, you got to be ahead of the game in retail. You got to take it up another notch. And if you live on the borderline of what somebody else is doing and you're not doing your own thing, where your dream at? You get talents, somebody use 2 of their talents, the next man just hold 1 talent, don't make nothing with it, the other one multiply, quadruple, and make quintuplets out of it. You done went 5 or 6 different ways out of a talent. But I mean, it's biblical. That's what it is. Everything I do was always biblical. I'm not a saint. I ain't the best person in the world. I'm still the evil same son of a gun that raised Cain and say everything I need to say that I need to say in front of grown people. But it just happens. I've been raised down south, but that's what you do. You get mad, you say what you need to say. So, you know, church folk, I apologize. Just, you know, I don't do no cussing, so don't let us know. You know. But I just want to say that the next venture, the next thing I'll be doing, I'll be Cake Man Raven events. I mean, I won't say we're not going to come back out and do slices, but for right now, we won't do slices for a while. We'll be able to do whole cakes. The warehouse in East New York will still be able to be accessible to pick up stuff. We're still going to be making red velvet. We're still going to be helping people. I don't know where we're going to have a parade at in East New York, but hopefully we'll have a parade passing by here going around somewhere downtown where we'll set up shopping by spring. So if I'm not here in Brooklyn, you'll find me in Manhattan. If you don't find me in Manhattan, you'll find me in South Carolina. But you'll be able to find me. How Diana Ross said, ain't no mountain high enough. So, I mean, you know, it is what it is. And I thank you all. And it's for real.
Where you find a palace downtown next year or today. Yes, oh Raven, we're going to miss you, but we know you'll be back soon. So I know that God has blessed you and Rababondondre shenderano indendoro basendero ikondoro bandri sendero nanana shendero sonero ikondoro si no